Is it safe to say that tomorrow's game against Bournemouth is set to be like a relegation battle? Personally, I think that's quite hyperbolic. Even though this season is a disaster, one of the worst seasons in modern history at this football club, I think even if we lost every single game, we're still going to be clear because the clubs at the bottom, they're not winning any games themselves. They're not winning any games. Southampton have not won a game in 5. Same as Everton, same as Leeds, same as a few of these clubs. So they're so bad that by sheer will of the badness, we're going to be safe. So I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is, can we finally break past this 40-point barrier? Because it's getting a bit comical at this point in time. Like, I wasn't expecting us to still be below 40 points. And there's like, what, 5 games left until the season ends? That's absolutely crazy to me. But as I keep saying, I've been absolutely humble this season. I've learned so much about the game. I've realized that you just can't buy sexy, nice players and think that you are going to be a football team. You are going to perform. They are going to make sense of stuff and become a team. It don't work like that. And I think it simply comes down to the fact that with the amount of money and wealth in this league, that isn't enough now to compete because every club, every rival has the same resources to compete against you right now. So you need to have like a deeper level of planning, like a deeper level of understanding to be able to perform as a team right now and actually start challenging in this league. But regardless, against Bournemouth, it's an opportunity similar to Aston Villa where it's another team we're playing against that is level on points. And when you go to Aston Villa right now, they're absolutely clear since we were last level on points with them. They currently have 54 points. Unai Emery is doing an incredible job with them. And Bournemouth have had a pretty good, successful second half of the season since they've signed a lot of very wise and very good players to add to their team. Lots of great attacking talents. I'm still surprised they signed guys like Hamid Traore, for example, Utara, Dominic Solanke, who is a good, experienced type of player. And it's just kind of mad that he didn't really fulfill that elite potential that he once showed at our football club. Like, this guy was bagging over 40 goals in the youth academy. He made his first appearance at 17 years old. He was doing good things in the first half of the season for Vitesse when he went there on loan. But I think he made the wrong decision in leaving us to go to Liverpool. But at the same time, I don't really blame any of these young guys because you kind of realize that you aren't going to have any like pathway made for you in this first team. But he has shown that he's a decent player. He's a good all-round type of striker. And he's definitely a player to watch out for tomorrow. I think if we have any hope of putting in a positive performance at least, because I can't even stand there and tell you guys I'm expecting us to win, I want us to win. I'm beyond that right now. I've said that a million times already this season. It's literally hit me in the face every single time. I can't keep falling for that same trap. I can't keep doing it. So at least Lampard, show me some consistency with the lineup. You know, revert back to using young players who are going to be here for the following seasons. Not experienced guys whose heads and hearts aren't in it anymore. They're planning moves away. They don't want to be here. Like, it doesn't make sense to keep falling for the same trap that managers at this football club tend to do. And that is going to favouring the seniors. Because since the transfer ban, let's keep things real. We've won the Champions League. We've got into Europe. We've done all these things based on the young players at this football club stepping up time and time again. And Lampard, you were the first guy to show the way and show the light and pave that pathway. So I want to see you revert back to type what you know and actually start giving minutes to these guys and letting them develop and get ready for the rest of their careers at our club. So you guys, in today's match preview, I'm going to break down key points from Lampard's press conference. I'm going to give you guys my predicted lineup and of course prediction right at the end. So share your thoughts and opinions. There is going to be a news video out later today, so stay tuned for that. And without wasting any more time, now let's start straight with the press conference because there's no new team news. It's still the same situation. It is what it is. But let's start with things. And one of the interesting questions posed to Lampard was over what's happening with Benoit Badiashile, because to be honest with you, since this guy signed for us in January, he has been very good. He has looked very dominant for a young guy who's 21 years old, coming to the Premier League during the midway point of a season. You know, he's really shown that he has the potential to do a lot of good things with us, and he's found himself out the team for some reason, and it's a bit of a shame. But at the same time, I'm not expecting his involvement in the team to make us win games. It's not like that at all. But Lampard gave his answer. Lampard said, listen, Benoit is competing alongside, Jalabas, Koulibaly's, Silvers, Fofanas, etc., etc. He's close. He's very, very close. And Naturally, there's a lot of competition for centre-back spots right now. But I think the subtext I was getting from Lampard's answer was that it looks like he's turning to finding a balance between using senior guys just to provide some experience in the team alongside young players. And he doesn't feel like he should use too many young players at the same time. But as I said at the start of this video, I've always seen senior guys tending to be the guys that cost us games time and time again. And I don't really tend to see that with the young guys. So I do think that, listen, that type of thinking and logic has to be thrown in the bin right now. It's not even needed anymore. It doesn't make a difference. None of these senior guys are pissed at this point in time. So why play guys whose heads aren't in the game right now? I hope Benoit gets opportunities tomorrow. He has been good. And it would be nice to see Fofana and Benoit, guys who are going to be here for the next few years, building more of an understanding together. That makes more sense to me right now. Now, Lampard commented on Todd Bowley's recent interview that we all saw, and he did say that he supports Bowley's intentions. He's very positive, and he did reveal that he's in constant communication with the higher-ups at the club. And I think we have to remember this, that Lampard was signed as an interim. He wasn't signed as like an official coach in that capacity. And one of the reasons why they turned to him wasn't because Lampard made himself available, because he is a club legend. Let's not forget this guy's pedigree and history with our club. Irrespective of the coaching and the management, he came here because realistically, no one else is coming after Potter got sacked. It's career suicide, so he's literally doing us a favour. And he's also here in terms of like a consultancy type of role to give feedback towards the dynamics, certain players, to get professional opinions on what's happening right now. And I think that's a perspective that has to be remembered. Even though we can be frustrated by decisions, Lampard is only here as an interim to just help towards steering us to the future for next season, basically. And I guess for the final interesting point from the press conference, because a lot of this stuff is like, you know, it's the standard type of stuff, right? Of course, you know, your opinions on the season, the players, etc., etc. You're not going to get any like real, proper, solid type of answers. It's going to be like PR answers, so I don't tend to focus too much on them. But when he was asked whether he's hurting as a club legend with the current state of the season, he said that, you know, I'm not hurting because it might have been me, but I've been part of this club through its success for years now. Lampard said that we at Chelsea have been pretty fortunate for 20 years, but when the spotlight is on you, it's on you. But as a professional player or coach, you have to understand and handle that because every team has these periods. Even as a fan base, you can be frustrated, want more, whatever. But I also think you have to have an understanding of what's happened in the last 20 years at our football club. It's not one for me personally to sit on and hurt us. It's more finding the action of what's going to get us out of this. The action this season is not getting us into the Champions League, the top 8 or whatever. Who knows where it's going to get us, but it will be like the first small step. And that's what we have to consider. Not all fans want to hear that, but that's reality. And I think I'm going to leave the press conference at this because I think that is the clear reality right now. You know, it's about steering us now for next season. And as I keep stressing, I think the focus should be on the guys that are actually going to be here and focus on the young players getting more experience, especially when these games are absolutely meaningless right now. So my friends, let's now move on to the predicted lineup. All I'm honestly praying for is a sense of continuity. That's all I want to see. I understand and sympathize with most of the managers here this season because, listen, it's very easy for us outside of that type of bubble to be like, do this, do that, do that. We have no context of nothing. We aren't with the players. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, who's fit, who's not, etc., etc. But I think one thing that has hurt us this whole season is that we've used 10 to 11 different formations, 10 to 11 different game plans. Like, that's going to exasperate the issues 10 times more, right? So tomorrow, because Lampard revealed that, you know, since the Arsenal game, the sessions have been about recovery and very light prep work. So during times like this right now, you don't even have time in the training ground to really work on things, to change things or move things on. So continuity, I want to see 4-3-3, and here's my lineup. In goal, I've gone for Mendy. I like to see this brother's face one more time, potentially if he's going to leave us. You know, I got a lot of respect for what he did for us when we won the Champions League, his first few seasons here. He's had a bit of an off period, but I'm not going to lie. Most top goalkeepers in the world have had off periods. You know, that's not exclusive to Mendy. And I don't understand why he hasn't got the opportunities back yet. No disrespect to Kepa, but the thing is, even if Kepa is playing his personal 10 out of 10 best games, he's still not world class. there's still a level that he can't reach. And you see it simply on the field, right? If you're the opposition team, you're constantly encouraged to take shots outside the box, attack set pieces, all these types of details, because you kind of know you have an advantage over the goalkeeper. And top clubs, you sign top players for a reason, so other teams can't take advantage of your weaknesses. So Mendy in goal. In defense, it's very, very simple. Cucurella, Badiashile, Fofana and Trevor Chalobah. Guys that have technique, physical presence, pace, very good on the ball, and most importantly, allow us to play a high line. No Thiago Silva, and definitely no Azpilicueta. I didn't understand what they even did for us against Arsenal, and I just don't think they're needed right now. In midfield, 4-3-3 has to be Enzo, and I know Enzo is going to keep playing this Jorginho role, but I just wish his brother could play a bit further forward, because this guy is an excellent box-to-box mid. And I have to say this, yeah, I'm getting a bit sick and tired of seeing N'Golo Kante finding himself in goal-scoring areas in the opposition box. Like, listen, I know the guy presses from the front, but as I keep saying, it doesn't really matter because he's pressing as a solo act. And I'm getting frustrated that he keeps finding himself in these great areas, and we have players like Connor or Enzo, others that would take way more advantage if they found themselves in the same areas. I'm sorry, like, I just can say play him deeper. Like, he's not a terrible player. He doesn't lack like tactical intelligence. He's not this Energizer bunny that, you know, can't stay and hold positions. Of course he can. I've seen him do it his whole career. Let him adapt deeper now. And guys who are much better attacking further forward should be playing further forward. So I want to see Kante hopefully fly. So I hopefully want to see Kante playing deeper, ends on the right hand side, and I'm going for Connor. Ideally, I would like that to be Chukwuemeka, but even though I want to see Carnes play, I'm not going to say that Connor's been bad. He has not been bad, so I don't really care what anyone says. But hopefully, Carnes gets lots of minutes in the second half, and if he even started, I would also be happy with that. And obviously up front, Madueke on the right hand side, Mudryk on the left hand side, and Kai Havertz up front. Now everyone, when I normally put Havertz in these lineups, I constantly get the dissenting voices. Why not Fofana? Why not this? Like, come on. Surely you watch our games every single week now, right? Like, in terms of balance, in terms of this team needing an outlet, just to hold the ball at times, to allow us to press from the front, all those intangible, unsexy things that no one seems to care about, but actually the most important things to get a team performing to the highest levels. Currently, compared to the rest of his teammates, Havertz does that the best. Now, that doesn't mean he's elite, but it means he performs that better than the rest. And I think you guys saw how Aubameyang performed. Like, a lot of us have wanted to see Oba, but the thing is, this team can't support his profile. But not that good in terms of creating opportunities, dominating the play, or none of that. So if you're not doing those things, you're kind of wasting Aubameyang. So it has to be Havertz for those reasons. But Madueke, this brother plays until the end of the season, without a doubt. Nice cameo against Arsenal, and even that goal he scored, man. You see how he stood around the outside of that fullback and he was just waiting to time that run and curve it. And that's why Cover played the pass. Good runs create passing opportunities, yeah? And Madueke is a goal scorer. He's done this throughout PSV. He was very good. On the left-hand side, I think Mudryk. I think this guy could benefit from getting more game time and more minutes now to really understand the league, more settling, and build some sense of like understanding with his teammates, for God's sake, because, you know, he's had ups and downs, but he still looked quite promising, and this guy needs more game time. So that's my lineup out of the way. Share your thoughts and opinions. And right now for my match prediction, wow, it's a hard one. A part of me is thinking, surely this must be the game against a high-pressing, high-octane Bournemouth team that's going to give you some spaces. Is this a game on paper, tactically, that should be a bit easy for us to be able to do something? Honestly, I don't know with how the season's going. And other than conceding like a lot of goals against like the top teams and we're losing, against the rest of the teams, we're losing by like 1 goal. So defensively and stuff like that, but not that bad. So could Bournemouth really get more than 2 goals against us? I'm not too sure. But again, with this season, everything I knew is out the window right now. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win, surely. If I see this type of lineup and hopefully Lampard does the right things, because that's what it depends on, using the young players, I'm going to be a bit more hopeful. So my friends, that's the preview out of the way. Share your thoughts and opinions. There's going to be a news video coming out later on, so stay tuned for that. And on that note, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.